Welcome back to the card review. We've finished white and blue. It's time for black and red, the Rakdos colors. Kicking it off with Alchemist's Gift, a single black. Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains your choice of Death Touch or Lifelink until end of turn. Very limited card. It's limited in terms of its success cases, and it is limited in terms of its uses. It's just for limited. It's just limited. It's limited. It's a limited card. It's a limited card. Do you need me to be any more clear? It's a limited card. 0 out of 5 constructed. We'll never, ever, ever see this, but this could be a potentially nice combat trick. The concern I have with this in limited even, and why I'd give it a 1 out of 5 in limited, is that if I get +1/+1 and Death Touch, or +1/+1 and Lifelink, I have to be really, really careful about ensuring, or let me say this, if I just give a creature Death Touch, this sentence is hard. This is the hardest sentence I've had to make all day. This is a tough sentence. Think about your normal combat trick, which is I get bigger than you. You attack with, say, a 3/3. I have a 2/2. I then make that 2/2 a 4/4, which means my combat trick ate your 3/3, right? We went 1 for 1. In this case, +1/+1 is not a lot to help me overcome that. Right? If my opponent had a 2/2 and I had a 2/2 and then I became a 3/3, I would eat that 2/2. But because my opponent has a 2/2 and I have a 2/2, why would they just opt to attack to trade anyways? Right? This is what feels really weird to me. I think the way in which Alchemist's Gift can only be really effective is if there's a creature that says, when I enter the battlefield, I ping for 1 damage. Then I can give that Death Touch and that ping turns into removal. Right? This is a way to amp something up. Rarely will you ever do something like cast Alchemist's Gift to give something Death Touch, so that way you lose your creature, lose the Alchemist's Gift, just to kill a big dude. You know, something like this. Archfiend's Vessel, a single black. Human Cleric, lifelink. When Archfiend's Vessel enters the battlefield, if it entered from your graveyard, or you cast it from your graveyard, exile it. If you do, create a 5/5 black demon creature token with flying. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Oh, man. Holy crap. There's that 3-mana card that lets you put a combined total of 3 converted mana cost to creatures onto the battlefield. This is great. This is great. Wow. Yeah, like Call of the Death Dweller is the name of the card. Thank you. Wow, that's like pretty cool. I'm trying to think of any other... I mean, there's just enough black reanimation that I'm just like, this card's dope. I'd give it a 3 out of 5 in Constructed, maybe even a 4 out of 5 in Constructed. That seems like a very, very, very nice card. Very, very nice card. In Limited, I think that this is going to be a 1 out of 5 in Limited. It's a 1/1 lifelinker. How often can you cast it? How often can you cast it? Also, I would suggest to everyone to be reticent about evaluating this with regard to Lurrus, because Lurrus is now kind of an unknown, unproven card. It's no longer companionable as effectively as before. So, I mean, I was trying to run Lurrus in a lifelinker deck. This could be sufficiently good. On turn 4, play Lurrus, play Archfiend's Vessel, you have a 3/3 and 5/5. Could be reasonable, but still. Call of the Death Dweller is a much more instant application card. Anyways... yeah, I think in Limited this is often just going to be a 1/1. I don't know if there's a lot of black reanimation in Limited, so whatever. Bad Deal? Oh yeah, draw 2 cards and each opponent discards 2 cards. Each player loses 2 life. Oh my god, do I love this card! This card actually probably sucks in Constructed. Oh man, does this card probably suck in Constructed. Limited, this is a 5 out of 5. Bomb, 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 bomb. Dude, oh my god. You will very frequently get 2 cards discarded and draw 2 cards. Really nice. I love, love, love this card. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. Constructed, though, I don't know when you would ever be happy about this in Constructed. You know what I mean? I don't know when you'd ever be happy about this in Constructed. I really don't. I really don't. Yeah, 0 to 5 Constructed. It's sorcery speed. It's 6 mana. Give me something like Thought Distortion. That's the sort of card I want. An uncounterable one. Yeah. I don't like it. Blood Glutton. 4 and a black for a vampire with lifelink. 4/3. Hey, really bad and constructed. It's a 4/3 for 5 that doesn't do nothing. I compare all my 5 mana cards to a 3 mana. There's me a 5 mana 6/6 trampler. So this is not good. This is not good. Lifelink? No. No. 0 to 5 constructed. What do I think about it in limited? 2 out of 5. It's fine. 2 out of 5 is fine. Right? It's a lifelinker. Seems okay. Seems totally fine. Seems totally reasonable. Meh. You know. Caged Zombie. 2 and a black. 1 and a black. Tap it. Each opponent loses 2 life. Activate this ability only if a creature died this turn. Oh, crap. I thought it was just going to be each opponent loses 2 life. I mean, that would have been dope. That would have been really, really, really awesome. Oh god, I gotta send this text. I gotta send this as an emergency text. All right, hold on. Here comes the emergency. There it is. It was a request for coffee. It's tough. You know, in Limited, there's a lot of cards that have existed in the past that's like deal 1 damage to my opponent each turn, or deal 2 damage to my opponent each turn, and those are very nice in Limited. Outside of this is a 3 mana 2/3 that almost never gets to ping for 2, but it could be okay, maybe, to just deal an extra 4 damage or something. Not much more than that. So for that reason, 2 out of 5 limited, 0 out of 5 constructed. Carrion Grub, 3 and a black. Carrion Grub gets +X/+O, where X is the greatest power among creature cards in your graveyard. I just remembered that I forgot to share the theme of the next episode of What the Deck that's going to happen on June 29th between me and Brian Kibler. Oh my god. Guys, the next theme for What the Deck is the following. Make a historic deck, submit it in our Discord, and the theme is Plants versus Zombies. You can either make a deck that's zombie themed or a deck that is plant themed. Now, plant includes like fungus, sapperling, tree folk, and elementals that are clearly plants, basically the green elementals. Plants versus zombies is the theme. Oh my god. Also, all of you should play the original Plants vs. Zombies. It's too bad that they never made an additional one. Oh, is there someone behind me? Oh, Carrion Grub, 3 and a black. Carrion Grub, back to review. Gets +X/+O, where X is the greatest power among creature cards in your graveyard. When Carrion Grub enters the battlefield, mill 4 cards. Put the top 4 cards of your library into your graveyard. Whoa! This, if there's like a 7 power thing in the graveyard, this could be a 4 mana 7/5. Whoa! Wow! 0 out of 5 constructed. 4 mana to put things into my graveyard with conditional power. What? I mean, this could be like a 7/5 or an 11/5 or a 400/5. Woodburger says, can you help me understand why every single card is bad for constructed? Sure. There are... Yeah, here's the basic description. If there is a card that is great and a card that is amazing that are both doing similar things, you simply don't run the great card because you could instead run the amazing card. And therefore, unless cards are both extremely powerful and uniquely more powerful than alternatives, unless it is that, it's a 0. You know what I mean? I actually really struggle to evaluate Carrion Grub in Constructed. This might actually be very good in my Croxa shenanigans. This might actually be an acceptable card in Constructed. Golgari and filling things into the graveyard seems pretty good. And the fact that it has a 5 stat line, I mean, even if it's a 3/5 for 4 that's filling the graveyard usefully, I would give this a 2 out of 5 in Constructed upon reflection. In Limited, I would probably give it a 4 out of 5 in Constructed. Sorry, 2 out of 5 Constructed, 4 out of 5 Limited. The reason I'm giving it a good rating in Limited is that this could be like a 4 mana 5/5, a 4 mana 6/6. And it just has +X+O. So if I play this and completely whiff, and later on I get like a large creature in the graveyard, it could become a 6/5. Okay. I'm done with this one. I don't even want to... I don't care about this card anymore. I'm not going to look at it anymore. I'm not going to look. All right. Crypt Lurker. 3 and a black. When Crypt Lurker enters a battlefield, you may sacrifice a creature or discard a creature card. If you do, draw a card. I mean, this is only really good if there's a card that like made a token, at which point this card is nice. I want to give this a 3. I want to give this a 3 because, like, dude, if you can like make some tokens with the Crypt Lurker, you can turn those into and then you can maybe flick. I don't know. 3 in Limited, 0 in Constructed. Hold on, let me just adjust my hair a little bit. Aliens. 0 out of 5 in Constructed, right? Because this is a card that requires a lot of conditions, and then when it exists, it's just not that good. Deathbloom Thallid. Okay. When Deathbloom Thallid dies, create a 1/1 green sapling creature token. God, I have loved this card. Oh wait, I guess how was I parting my hair like this? It seems good. I mean, this was so much fun in sets past. This was so much fun in Dominaria, man. A 3/2 that when it dies creates a 1/1 green sapling creature token. I actually think. Would you like the chicken parmesan? No, I'll just have a Thallid. I think that the Deathbloom Thallid is just a very good enabler of things like Crypt Lurker. You make Saprolings and you can pick them off. Saprolings are a really popular format historically in Magic the Gathering. This would not be allowed for the plants deck. No, it would. It's a fungus. It's fungus. You know what I mean? We're continuing to style our hair. I like the volume we have today. Okay, I just gotta wiggle myself a little bit and get back into it. So, Deathbloom Thallid is a solid card in Limited. I'd give it a 3 out of 5. Already the stat line's good. It has a leftover token, which is very good defensively, very good for sacrifice effects. In Constructed, I don't actually know. We haven't gotten to green, but the Deathbloom Thallid could be a very acceptable and strong card in some sort of Saproling deck. And there have been existing decks in times past that have been Saproling focused that have been good. I even think I streamed some Saproling nonsense a while back. Our hair's looking good. So I don't know, maybe like 2 out of 5 in Constructed. This thing has had historical efficacy, so maybe Maybe it's good. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's bad. Demonic Embrace. Oh, I know this one. This one's good. 1 a black and another black for an aura enchantment. Enchanted creature gets +3/+1 and has flying and is a demon in addition to its other types. You may cast Demonic Embrace from your graveyard by paying 3 life and discarding a card in addition to paying its other costs. You know, I gotta be honest, this is quite good limited. Quite good. +3/+1 is a big boost to a flyer. If there is a 3 power flyer, I'm happy a lot of the times. You can bonk somebody down. But with Demonic Embrace, imagine if you just had some dirtily 2/3 and then it becomes a 5/4 flyer. That's ending the game fast. And then your opponent kills it. Boom, Demonic Embrace comes back out and you keep attacking. I would give this a 4 out of 5 in limited. Maybe even a 5 out of 5 in limited. It is nice, 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 nice. Very nice. Very, 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 very nice. Constructed. Man, dude, this kind of feels like it could be good and constructed. Kind of feels like it could be good. There are, so if I'm an aggro deck, what are the problems that I encounter? One, a very basic problem, is life gain, so I need creatures that can stick so I can deal more than 20 damage to my opponent. That's a pretty straightforward one. And if I'm a creature deck, I sort of automatically account for that problem. So if I'm a creature-based aggro deck, what are other ways that I encounter issues? One is sweepers and things like that, so I want creatures that when they die, they summon stuff, or various forms of recursion. I can also wind up very, very, very commonly being up against a big wall, something like an Uro, something like a Cavalier. Demonic Embrace can fly over the non-reach, non-flying ones extremely effectively. It can also allow me to trade with something like a Cavalier of Thorns and then just get me the card value back. Often you have aggro decks, we have all these things, you're trying to get enough board presence, get around sweepers, get around big walls, get around removal spells. One of the issues that a lot of these kinds of decks struggle with is getting past those walls and getting enough damage in time, but also card advantage. I maybe get the opportunity to cast 5 spells, but my control player played a sweeper, killed all my stuff, and now is drawing like crazy, damn it. Demonic Embrace is a really great way to say, okay, against those kinds of control decks, I just keep playing the Demonic Embrace again and again and again and again and again and again, making every single thing a very large, juicy flyer. It makes everything a threat. I think Demonic Embrace... Oh, wait, you have to discard a card in addition to paying its other costs. Yeah, if I'm getting land, I guess I can turn my land into that. Okay. This is good in limited. Still 5 out of 5 in limited because you often get to a point where you have enough land. So you just discard your land and turn it back into a Demonic Embrace, which is good. In constructed, damn it, I missed out on the discard cost when I was evaluating that. In constructed, I suppose I would give it a 3 out of 5. It seems like an above average value card in constructed. It seems like reasonable enough. It's like recursion and shit like this. Seems good. But it's tough. I like Vokasak saying this is non-0 out of 5 in constructed. This is a very interesting card. I really like this. Duress, 0 out of 5. No one's ever going to run this garbage card. Eliminate. By the way, in sincerity, this is an extraordinarily essential card for any collection that's trying to run black and constructed. 5 out of 5. Occasionally makes its way to the main board as 1 or 2 copies, but is often 4 of in the sideboard of black decks. I mean, this is a staple card in Magic the Gathering. 0 out of 5 in limited. Run a creature. Don't run a conditional discard. Eliminate. Destroy target creature or planeswalker with converted mana cost 3 or less. 5 out of 5 in all formats. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Eat shit to fairy. Oh, my God. Yes. Oh. Teferi. Fuck you. Oh, yeah. Oh, I have a text. Oh, my God. Oh, yes. Thank you. I love you so much. Oh. And I love you too. Here's the thing. Okay. Let's talk about numbers. Very important number theory I'm about to share with you with my aliens hair. 3 mana cards are so much more expensive than 2 mana cards, and you feel the shit out of that the more and more and more you play Magic. My coffee angel has arrived. 5 out of 5. Absolutely a staple in angel decks. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The coffee's making a run for it. Oh my god. My life is a blessed life. Thank you, sweetheart. I love you. Wow. My hand is now moist with coffee. My hand, too, will become more powerful than it was before. That's what the text was earlier. I was texting Britt. I was like, can you make me coffee? I've been talking about cards for so long and I'm tired. Was that Sheriff? No. No, this is a task that requires posable thumbs. What are we talking about? Okay, 2 mana cards are so much more impactful in Magic the Gathering than 3 mana cards. You feel that crazy much the more and more you play. The ability to, on turn 4, do 2 things. Let's say on turn 3, your opponent plays Teferi, and now the turn's back to me. I play my 4th mana. I can then eliminate Teferi for 2 mana and still have 2 mana open for something like a negate. Or 2 mana open for another eliminate. Or 2 mana open for any number of different effects, a growth spiral, things like this. This is why when you look at a lot of deck lists, I encourage all of you to do this. Go look at various strong control deck lists that are in the meta and just look at how many of the spells are 2 and 1 mana in control decks. You will see stacks of negates, Mystic Dispute, which is 1, but still, it's fine for this argument. You'll see Mystic Disputes, negates. You'll see Disdainful Strokes from the sideboards. You'll see things like Cast Down in old times, destroy target non-legendary creature for 2 mana. You'll see Tyrant Scorn. You'll see Growth Spiral. You'll see all these 2 mana effects because it is just so important to be able to do 2 things in 1 turn early on. This is also why, for the same reason, this is why Duress and Eliminate are very high value cards. You can like eliminate and then Duress in the same turn. If any of you watched me on Tuesday, I was even doing a Jeskai control deck, and I just went, man, let's get these absorbs out of here. They're 3 mana. Fuck that stuff. There's so much power in the ability to destroy things for 2 instead of 3, or the ability to do things for 2 instead of 3. And therefore, Eliminate addresses Teferi in a way that Murderous Rider couldn't. Dude, all these Grixis control stupid bullshit bad decks that I'm trying to run, I'm just like, ugh, I guess I have to run Murderous Riders and Bedevils, these slow, chonky, bad, no good, very sad cards. Ugh. This is 5 out of 5 in limited and constructed. This is great. This is great. So good. The Antibody says, unfortunately, this loses a lot of Planeswalker targets post-rotation. Antibody, please give this to me. This is 3 months of shitting on Teferis. Just give me 3 months of pooping on Teferis. Ow. Oh, hit my tooth. Oh, I tried to drink and I hit my tooth. Oh, thank God these are fake. Fetid Imp, 1 in a black. This is me last week, by the way. This is what I look like when I'm not streaming. I'm just like, does anyone want to play Dota? Just me like, come here, honey, we gotta watch more Avatar: The Last Airbender. Alright, flying. Fetid Imp gains Death Touch until end of turn. Right. This card is actually pretty okay in limited. This is a pretty okay card in limited. I'd give it a 3 out of 5 in limited. It's barely above. Some just like, whatever, I may as well include this because it's a creature. This is a card that drops, and it can sort of ping for a little bit of damage until something scary comes up. And then this just trades up. I love this card. I love this card in limited. I almost want to give this a 4 out of 5 in Limited, not because it is going to do anything good proactively, but because it's such an efficient trade upper. It just feels really nice. And sometimes your opponent will have a huge creature, and you have a fetid imp, and your opponent wants to use a removal spell to get rid of this pretty easy to sacrifice card, just so their big creature can go. I mean, I love this card. I love this card. In Constructed, 0 out of 5. Finishing Blow. 5 out of 5 in Limited. 0 out of 5 in Constructed because, as we were discussing before, Murderous Rider does the same thing cheaper. Bedevil does the same thing cheaper. Heartless Act does sort of the same thing cheaper. This art, though, is just beautiful. Oh my god, I love this art. This is incredible art. Oh my god, it's like moving how beautiful this art is. I'm being too sincere. We have to be goofy. Remember, the year is 2020. Sincerity died on Reddit late in 2015. The only thing we can do is commodify snark. So, Finishing Blow. Too bad the power level doesn't match up to the card art. That's how you say it in 2020, you know what I mean? Gloom Sower. Ooh, a 5 and 2 black 7 mana horror. Before I even read the text of this card, I'd like to note that when I was a child, I did not understand the difference between the word horror and the word whore. And I played Diablo 1 as a kid, and there are horrors in that game. And I used to say, oh yeah, Mom, I'm in this level, and I'm playing as a warrior, but I'm like a spell warrior. I cast fireballs with scrolls, and I kill all sorts of zombies and whores. My mom was like, what? She's like... And I remember there was, we were watching something on TV where someone had a lot of eye makeup on, and it made her face look like a skeleton, right? It looked like she had like those sort of skeleton eyes. And again, because of the horrors in Diablo, I went, wow, that makeup makes her look like a whore. And my mom was like, what is it? What? She like snapped at me. She's like, that is not okay. You don't say that to people. And I like didn't understand because like, you know, she just looks like a skeleton. Like I didn't realize these were two different words. I didn't know. I did know that I shouldn't say that because my mother raised me properly. That's so funny, man. Whenever Gloom Sower becomes blocked by a creature, that creature's controller loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. This is a nice limited card. I didn't know there was a difference between those two things, man. I'm talking like I was like quite young, man. I must have been like 8. When did you learn the difference? That moment. That moment when I said that. And my mom was like, oh, you were trying to say horror. Well, first of all, that's not a very nice thing to say to somebody. But second of all, these are 2 different words. And I was like, ah. So, whenever Gloom Sower becomes blocked by a creature, that creature's controller loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. So if somebody double blocked with Gloom Sower, they would lose 4 life and I would gain 4 life. And so on and so forth. So, I think this is like a 4 out of 5 in Limited. I get real excited when I see huge creatures that have various instant upsides or hexproof and stuff like this. This is just a big creature that can give some stability, which is great. Yeah, 0 out of 5 in Constructed. I mean, in Constructed, this is often just an 8/6. Like, you know, it's not really doing much. Creature to creature combat is much more focused on Limited. Oh my god, this reminds me of Saturn devouring his son. Whatever the name of that painting is. I'm pretty sure it's Saturn devouring his son. Gormand. Or Gorman D. 4 and double black. It's a demon. 5/5. It's an additional cost to cast a spell. Sack a creature. Flying. Trample. When Gorman D enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices a creature. Oh. Nice. Gorman Demon. Okay, this is a 6 mana flying 5/5 with trample that makes my opponent sack a creature. 5 out of 5 out of 5 in Limited. 0 out of 5 in Constructed due to difficulty of having a creature to sack and the lack of consistency of having a creature on my side and a creature on their side where I would play this. Yeah, so this is just a great card because you're basically saying we're each going to remove something. I remove a bad thing, you remove a good thing, and then I get a 5/5 flyer. So this, I mean, frankly, if this were just a 6 mana 5/5 flyer with trample, I'd be pretty happy. Grasp of Darkness. 2 black, target creature gets -4/-4 until end of turn. 5 out of 5 limited. It's very, very strong targeted instant speed removal. You heard me say before that 4 is an essential inflection point in terms of size. Lots of things deal 3, do -3/-3, drain for 3, you know, destroy something that has 3 or less toughness, things like this. This is 4. And Lava Coil has been a real staple for red in a lot of different situations. Grasp of Darkness seems like it's going to be a very, very, I wouldn't say common card. Lava Coils often wound up in the sideboard due to the downsides of it being sorcery speed, due to the downside of it being only able to target creature. But Grasp of Darkness will hit Questing Beasts, it will hit Megara, it will hit Crackling Drakes, it will hit all sorts of 4 toughness things, Nightmare Shepherds, Gary. It'll hit a lot of things. Double black, which is extraordinarily prohibitive, but, oh yeah, Winota, there's more and more and more. Grasp of Darkness actually seems very interesting. It seems very, very interesting to me. I would give it a 3 out of 5 in Constructed because it has, it's not like a Heartless Act where you'd want to like main deck it. This is the kind of card that, if you are like a heavily black deck, maybe a black splash green or just mono black or something like this, you would run this in the sideboard as just an extremely strong alternative to a Lava Coil, something like that. Grim Tutor. Search your library for a card, put that card in your hand, shuffle your library, and lose your life. Oh man, what do I think? I think that it's garbage. If you are a limited deck that has something that is bomb.com, Grim Tutor basically says, you know, you get your thing that you want. Cool. There are indeed things in Limited where if you just play it, you win the game. So if you can just find it and play it, great. And outside of this, Grim Tutor is often just a real delay with a little bit of pain that happens. In Constructed, no, 0 out of 5. You know, the thing is, what's the name of that card? It's like wishing, witch, well, MTG. What's the name of it? It's like the thing that passes back and forth between Wishclaw Talisman, MTG. Let's read Wishclaw Talisman, which exists and is not used. Remove a wish counter from Wishclaw Talisman. Search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Your opponent gains control of it, and then it can come back to you. There is already a 2-mana Grim Tutor that doesn't let you lose life, and you get to use it twice. Your opponent doesn't get to use it once, but you get to use it twice, and it's not run. This thing seems like it is so bad that if you run it, you're just looking for excuses to hurt yourself. I actually think that this card might be better for dealing 3 damage to yourself when you want to deal 3 damage to yourself than it is for necessarily finding a key card. So 0 out of 5 Constructed. Congrats, Vintage players. You get your tutor back. Who did Blightfang? 2 and a black. A Death Touch 1/4. Whenever a creature you control with Death Touch attacks, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Whenever a creature you control with Death Touch deals damage to a Planeswalker, destroy that Planeswalker. Ah! You have Planeswalker Death Touch. Death Touch Tribal. Seems fine. Limited. 2, maybe. poo. Probably poo. I'd probably give it a poo in constructed or in limited. It's just fun. Maybe a 3. I'd actually give it a weak 3, like a baby 3 for babies. 4 toughness is, again, the inflection point I love to reference, and has death touch, so it basically rails every weak creature that the opponent has and gives you the opportunity to occasionally ping for a little more life. Really, I view this as a 1/4 death toucher with marginal upside. Marginal upside. Constructed, no one's ever going to run this unless they are playing a deck consisting purely of their favorite art. Infernal Scarring, 1 in a black. Enchant creature. Enchant creature gets +2/+0 and has, when this creature dies, draw a card. Kind of janky. 0 out of 5 constructed. No one would ever want to run this in constructed. In limited, maybe a 1 out of 5. You know. Deal 2 damage, draw a card, you know, something like this. It's okay. It's not incredible. It's okay. It's not great. It's not incredible. It's not good. I mean, I'd rather run a creature. 1 out of 5. Don't like it. Kaervek, the Spiteful. 2 and a pair of blacks. Other creatures get -1/-1. What? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, this is so funny. Huh. 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 I'm going to give it a 0 in both limited and constructed. I hate this card. I hate this card. This card sucks. This card's bad. It's 4 mana. In construct, you know what else is 4 mana? Extinction Event. Would I rather have something that's exiling everything? Or would I rather have Kaervek the Spiteful, which, when it hits, will give -1/-1 to everything, including my own stuff. And it will shut down future tokens. But I mean, like, I don't know. I'd rather just run some sweepers, man. I'd rather run some sweepers, man. Give me a Ritual of Soot. Ritual of Soot is the exact same cost as Kaervek the Spiteful. It's a 3/2. The body's relevant to me. Why would I not want it in limited? Because I'm, you know, messing up my own development. No. Also, Ethereal Absolution is tight, and it's an enchantment. And no one runs enchantment removal. Oh, yeah, so Cry the Carnarium's in there? I mean, I don't know. It murders oven cats, though. While, yes, it does. I don't know that I would necessarily want to try to beat cat ovens by having a removable creature on the battlefield. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. No. One of my favorite cards of all time, 5. 5. Oh my god, when Kitesail Freebooter enters the battlefield, target opponent reveals their hand, you snatch a non-creature non-land card from it, and you tuck it under Kitesail Freebooter. Give me the booty. Kitesail Freebooty. This is such a fun and satisfying card. This card rips, and it slaps. This card also feels very, very fair. This feels very, very fair. Because often you can play like 2 Kitesail Freebooters, snag some essential cards, and your opponent sweeps it, and they come right on back again. Man, that's so good. 5 out of 5 constructed. This is a constructed absolute bone crusher. I mean, this is so good. This is just great, right? This is an incredibly effective aggro black card. I've even seen Kitesail Freebooters run in sort of control-ish decks as a 2 mana threat removal. It's really nice, man. It's really nice. It's a small creature. It flies. It gets rid of something temporarily, and you see the opponent's hand, man. Suck on that, Cataxian Probe. This card is great. Now, in limited, I give it more like a 2 out of 5. Do more like a 2 out of 5. It's a 1/2 flyer. You get the information. Occasionally you exile something. It's okay. It's pretty solid and limited. It's just not as much of a bomb as it is in Constructed, which has a glut of non-creature spells in it. Liliana, Waker of the Dead. 2 and a pair of blacks. +1. Each player discards a card. Each opponent who can't loses 3 life. Now notice each player discards a card. And then each opponent who can't loses 3 life. So if I have nothing in my hand, and me and my opponent both try to discard, and my opponent can't, my opponent loses the life. -3 is target creature gets -X/-X, where X is the number of cards in your graveyard. Perfectly acceptable. You get an emblem with, at the beginning of combat on your turn, put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It gains haste. Whew. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah. All right. I will give this a 4 out of 5 in Constructed. If it were just each opponent discards a card and then everything else was the same, this would be 5 out of 5. It's a mutual discard. You know, both of us have to nuke our own things, but there's some pretty good graveyard play that exists in Black-Red. Kroxa, Phoenix of Ash, a lot of Rakdos things. O10 General says, I'm surprised how normal Liliana looks in this card. Yeah, she's just hanging out. Yeah, she's just like, yeah, I'm just waiting for my date to arrive for homecoming. The -7 is really good. The -3 allows Liliana to protect herself. Everything in this card points to the idea of filling up your graveyard, you know, an Ashiok. I'm going to be really excited to run a Rakdos graveyard-focused Kroxa deck. It's really nice. Liliana's Devotee. Oh, yeah. Who here watches What We Do in the Shadows, huh? Liliana's Devotee, 2 and a black. Oh, I'd give this a 5 in limited because we're just discarding and damaging our opponent. We're deleting things with the -3 that threaten us, and the -7 is insane. Liliana's Devotee. Zombies you control get +1/+0. Yeah. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, you may pay 2 and create a zombie creature token. Wow, that's good. That is good. Imagine turn 5 in limited. You swing. You trade. A dude dies. You then play Liliana's Devotee. Immediately pay the 2 and make a zombie, and then you can attack with the zombie. When it dies, you repay. Get another zombie. Attack with that zombie again. It dies. You repay and get it back. You can actually just get like a little army of zombies going. Also, you can kill your opponent's creature and make a 2/2 black zombie. This feels kind of 4 out of 5-y in limited. Maybe 5 out of 5-y even. Maybe a 5-y out of 5-y. In Constructed, however, I'd give this a 0. This seems very hard to make work. This seems very, very hard to make work. It gets a confident 0 out of 5 for me. No. But 4 out of 5 for limited. It's very cool. Liliana's Standard Bearer. Look at him there. Standardly bearing. 2 and a black for a zombie knight that flashes in. When Liliana's Standard Bearer enters the battlefield, draw X cards where X is the number of creatures that died under your control this turn. What? How does this work? How does this work? Okay, so in Constructed, here's where it could be good. I'm mono black aggro. You cast a board wipe. All my stuff dies. Boom. Liliana's Standard Bearer enters the battlefield, and I redraw X cards. Midnight Reaper is already a pretty common card in a variety of black decks. This seems kind of Midnight Reaper-y. But this says creatures that died under your control, and Midnight Reaper says non-token creatures. I'd give it a 3 out of 5 in Constructed. I think that it there's enough black decks that are aristocrating their way down to 0 creatures that I think that Liliana Standard Bearer could actually be pretty good. Pretty good. Flashing into 3/1's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I'd give it a 3 out of 5. Now, in Limited, I'd also give it a 3 out of 5. It's trickier to make this work. I mean, probably if you trade a creature with your opponent, you can just regain with Liliana Standard Bearer. Maybe like a 4. Maybe a 4. Maybe even a 4 in Limited. Yeah, because, like, let's say we have some creatures that trade. You can play Liliana Standard Bearer and redraw. So, you know, meh. A lot of times, though, it really is just a 3/1 that draws a card, which is okay. So maybe a 3 out of 5 is appropriate. Lily's Steward. A single black, sack Lily Steward. Target opponent discards card. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. Ooh, yeah. I'm just going to take a moment. Feels good to take a moment for yourself, doesn't it? Isn't that a treat? Lily Steward, it's a 1-mana Discardio. This could actually be kind of annoying and limited. Maybe a 2 out of 5? Barely above a 1 out of 5. But what's nice about this is that you can have the 1/2 ping a little bit, then when your opponent's down to 1 card, force him to chuck it. That's where this thing could be quite fun and quite satisfactory. Doesn't seem particularly incredible and constructed. But yeah, it has non-zero merit limited and 0 merit in constructed. Malefic Scythe. 1 in a black. An artifact equipment. Malefic Scythe enters the battlefield with a soul counter on it. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each soul counter on Malefic Scythe. Whenever a equipped creature dies, put a soul counter on Malefic Scythe. Equip 1. Equip 1. Ooh. Ooh. It's like an Ozolith. That's pretty good in Limited. That's pretty good. You just keep making things big and then bigger and then bigger. This is a 3. I'm going to give this a 3 in Limited. Not a 5 because, again, it's not a creature. And we're giving something +1/+1, and then we're giving the next one +2/+2. I really feel like you start to get happy when you get to the +3/+3. In constructed, no. 0? What? I mean, for it to start to get big, you need like tens of turns. Not tens of turns, many of turns. Like, you know, no. Nah. Yeah, I mean, like, what are you going to do? You're going to, I'm going to equip a creature and make it a +4/+4. Yeah. It's just so okay. It's not incredible. It's just okay at best. And in constructed, I'm going to give it a 0. Not a chance this is ever going to be in constructed. 0, 0, 0, 0. Masked Blackguard. 1 in a black. Flash for 2/1. Ooh. Masked Blackguard gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Totally mediocre black card. This is just an absolute pack filler. 0 out of 5 in constructed. It's a flash baby. Doesn't do anything. Not a single thing. Very flavorful because it's a rouge. Yep, not a chance. Not a chance I'd give this a good rating. Massacre Worm. Already love the art. 3 triple black. Anytime a card has a lot of mana symbols, I'm just like... Creature Worm. When Massacre Worm enters the battlefield, creatures your opponent control get -2/-2 until end of turn. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, that player loses 2 life. Oh! Oh! Yeah! 5 out of 5 limited. Oh! A big body. A big sweep. And all sorts of ping lives to boot. 5 out of 5 and limited. In constructed, will this ever be good? No, because it's a 6-mana sweeper when we have access to 4 and 5 mana sweepers. I don't feel like I will ever be in a position where I will think to myself, if only I could ping my opponent for 4 to 6 life while they have a lot of creatures, I would win. Yeah, so 0 out of 5 constructed. It seems like a weak constructed piece. Seems like not a good constructed piece. Mind Rot, target player discards 2 cards. A classic. 2 out of 5 in limited, 1 out of 5 in constructed. It is just not that good. But it is the anti-divination. Divination, pay 3, draw 2. This is Mind Rot, pay 3, discard 2. I actually kind of like Mind Rot in limited. Probably more than the average bear. Discarding 2 cards is kind of nice. It's kind of nice, man. It's the classic 2 for 1. Just get those cards out of there. Necromentia. 1 and a pair of black sorcery. Choose a card name other than a basic land card name. Search target opponent's graveyard, library, graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with that name and exile them. That player shuffles their library, then creates 2/2 black zombie creature token for each card exiled from their hand this way. Huh. 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 I can't tell if this is better or worse than Unmoored Ego. Unmoored Ego did the exact same thing, except it said that your opponent draws a card for each card exiled from their hand. This says the opponent creates 2/2 black zombie creature token. I think this is a better Unmoored Ego. Huh. One in constructed, 0 in limited. 1 in constructed, 0 in limited. 1 in constructed, 0 in limited. Necromentia is just an awkward, I'm not going to do anything on this particular turn card. The issue that Unmoored Ego had is you would discard a card, not affect the board, and that was it. It would let you... I like to think of Unmoored Ego is a guarantee that the thing that would have killed you 6 turns from now can no longer kill you. How are you going to live for the next 6 turns? I don't know. Necromentia just seems like it's just so fringe. If there is some sort of deck that depends purely upon a single card win condition, and then you also have enough counter magic to ensure that you can cast Necromentia, then yeah, sure, man. But this card is a trap. This card is a trap. The reason it's a trap is you can look at this and you can just go, oh my gosh, this answers any issue I might have. This gets Uro, this gets Winota, this gets Field of the Dead because, I don't know, I'm playing in a format where that's legal. But you're giving up your whole turn. It's counterable. And, oh my god, Savit's just raided with a party of 660. And just subbed for 21 months in a row. Oh my god, Yanni, welcome to truth, positivity, but more importantly, truth. As we are reviewing all the cards with precision accuracy. Precision accuracy, down to the nanometer. It's incredible. Hope you've been well, man. We are... Oh, yeah. Oh, look at the card art. This is a 5 out of 5 card. See, I told you we're really good at this, Savvies. Peer into the Abyss. 4 and a trio of blacks. Target player draws cards equal to half the number of cards in their library and loses half their life round up each time. What? Oh. Oh, yeah. So I don't know why I would want to do this. Okay, here's the combo. We have Jace. We have the Teferi enchantment that says whenever we draw a card, we draw 2 cards. So then we cast Peer into the Abyss, which means we draw our entire library, and then we just plus our Jace and immediately win the game, huh? Oh, yeah. Whenever we draw, they mill 2. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this card is stupid. This is a 0 out of 5 constructed and a 0 out of 5 limited. But this is hilarious. This is truly hysterical. Hell yeah. Is there any way to duplicate this card? Because you could target the opponent and just make them lose their entire life. No, that wouldn't do it. It would let them draw their entire deck, though, and then you could pass on. Maybe we could have Niv Mizzet out and play the Abyss and just be like, boo. Yeah, the losing half their life, if we duplicated that, they'd lose 3/4. But they would. Oh no, wait, they would absolutely draw 3/4 of their library too. All right, something's up here. This is designed for jank. There's nothing more janky than this. Don't run this ever in your limited decks. Pestilent Haze. 1 in a pair of blacks. All creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. Okay, bad. Cry the Carnarium. Remove 2 loyalty counters from each Planeswalker. What? No, this card sucks in constructed. We have Elder Spell. We don't need this. We don't need this. It's bad Elder Spell. This is, I think, a reasonable card in limited, but only like a 2 out of 5 because -2/-2 to everything doesn't feel good. It feels bad, in fact. It feels quite bad. Yeah, I'd give it a 2 out of 5 in limited, maybe even a 1 out of 5 in limited. I do not like these kinds of cards. Rise Again, 4 in a black. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Reanimation Heaven. Now, this is how you get that 1 mana creature to turn into the 5/5 flyer. Ugh. Rise Again. There are starting to be enough copies of Reanimation in Standard that it's getting increasingly likely that there could be like a big boys reanimation list coming up. Without Agent of Treachery, it's substantially weaker. Doesn't mean I don't love Drakuseth. So I'm going to say constructed 1 out of 5. Limited 2 out of 5. It's not amazing in limited. It is. The question is, do you have a 5 mana creature in your graveyard? No. Well, then you really would have wished this was a 5 mana creature. You know what I mean? You really would have wished there was a 5 mana creature. So it's very possible that this could become dope, but we need some thick creatures there. Oh, look, it's a Shrine, my favorite card type in the whole wide world. Sanctum of Stone Fangs, 1 in a black. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, each opponent loses X life, and you gain X life, where X is the number of shrines you control. I like this Shrine way more than I like the other cards. This is actually pretty cool. I love pings. I love pings in life gains. Oh my gosh, yeah. Esper Control. Just sit there. Dealing damage. Maybe we can have the other blue Shrine in there, so that way we're like dealing damage. And the problem though is that this Shrine is legendary. Ugh. 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 I will say, I do think that this is a 3 or 4 out of 5 in limited. Being able to ping every single turn is pretty nice. Being able to ping every turn is pretty nice. Yeah, I mean, ill-gotten gains on steroids is exactly right. I think that if you could get 2 Shrines in limited, this would just be like a bomb-ass game plan. The fact this is legendary just hurts a lot. I like this a lot in limited. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 in limited, with the asterisk that you do need a second Shrine in there. In constructed, 1 out of 5, because I am going to try to make this work. We are probably going to be hurting ourselves. This is going to be a little bit painful. Oh, let me see. Let me see if the coffee angel is able to bring more coffee. More coffee. It's fun to see you in the show. I'm perfectly capable of getting the coffee, but this is an excuse to just look at Brit for a few seconds. Alright, Sanguine Indulgence. 3 and a black. This spell costs 3 less to cast if you've gained 3 or more life this turn. What? Return up 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. Huh. Man, gain 3 life is pretty good. Hey, Frankly Frank, thanks for the 5 giftings. Frankly Frank, I'd give that maneuver a 5 out of 5 in Limited and a 0 out of 5 in Constructed, because nothing's playable in Constructed. It's not your fault. But we are grateful. Thanks, Frankly Frank. And a high 5 to you. This is very, very nice and Limited. Even if you don't get the discount, just returning 2 creature cards from your graveyard to your hand is just like saying, spend 4 to draw 2 with specificity. In Constructed, 0 out of 5 because, boy, is this slow. I mean, we have Call of the Death Dweller. We can pay 3 and just pop it right on out. So I don't really like this card that much in Constructed. Limited, I would give it a 3. I'd give it a 3. It's slow, but these kind of effects are just always high value in Limited. I'm always happy to see getting 2 cards back to the hand. Silver Smote Ghoul. 2 and a black. I like this art. It's very archetypical horror. Creature Zombie Vampire. 3/1 at the beginning of your end step. If you gain 3 or more life this turn, return Silver Smote Ghoul from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Sack it to draw a card? What? Oh my god, I gotta figure out how to gain 3 life. I'm gonna be summoning 2/2s and pinging people and bringing out zombies and tabs up. Oh my god. I'm starting to get a little tickle. It's a 1 out of 5. 1 out of 5 in Constructed. In most circumstances, Silver Smote Ghoul is an irredeemable jumble of shit. But with the fact that there's so much 3 life or more thingies, we can maybe have a 3 life or more deck that lets us do 3 or more things per turn just by getting healthy. I would love to see someone hard counter a Creeping Chill just to make sure I don't draw 3 life or gain 3 life. This is pretty cool. In Limited, I don't know, a 1? It seems like a bad Limited card. Seems like a pretty bad Limited card, right? Seems terrible. Seems terriblement. I don't know. 1 out of 5 Limited, 1 out of 5 Constructed. It has merit. But it also has demerits, you know. Skeleton Archer, a classic. Welcome back. A 3/3 for 4. When it enters the battlefield, it deals a damage to anybody. Skeleton Archer is a classic. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. This is just so satisfying of a card to play. A 3/3 body's fine. Paying for 1 is almost always relevant. Someone asked why it doesn't have reach, and Simon Baxa has the correct answer. This Skeleton Archer has only 1 arrow. Tavern Swindler, 1 and a black, pay 3 life, flip a coin. If you win the flip, you gain 6 life. This is a card made for me. This is a 5 out of 5 in all formats. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is the best card in the universe. In the universe. In the universe. I love this card. Yes. 5 out of 5 in all formats. We get to flip a coin? Are you kidding me? I can't think of anything I like doing more. Do I even have a coin? What's a coin? All right, watch this. No. No. I don't have any coins. Tavern Swindler. This card is kind of interesting. I would give this a 3 out of 5 in Limited because 2 out of 5 is kind of how I identify 2-mana 2/2s, where you're like, yeah, I want to have some of these. But Tavern Swindler basically allows me to gamble, which is really fun. But then we can gain 6 life, which obviously activates all these gain 3 life capabilities, which is cool. So I'd give it a 3 out of 5 in Constructed, we have to hit this with a hard nope. 0. 0 out of 10. Thieves Guild Enforcer. Ooh, this has a lot of text and is rare. Rare. 1 black for a human rogue with flash. Whenever Thieves Guild Enforcer or another rogue enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent mills 2 cards. As long as an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, Thieves Guild Enforcer gets +2/+1 and has Death Touch. So? 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 Seems terrible. Seems horrible. Seems so bad. Seems terrible. 0 out of 5 in Constructed. Why would I ever want this in Constructed? Look, if I am a deck that is slow enough that I'm trying to mill my opponent to death, the last thing that's going to turn me on is a 1/1 that occasionally becomes a 3/2. If I am trying to use the mill in order to be more aggressive, I mean, dude, I would just rather run a better aggressive card. It's just a 1/1. It's a 1/1. I mean, here's the thing. A 1 mana 3/2 on turn 1, awesome. A 1 mana 3/2 on turn 5 is boring. And if I am in a situation where my opponent is attacking with large creatures and I'm using my Thieves Guild Enforcer to block and kill it, I am already fucked. Like, this would never be a valuable card to run defensively. Like, yuck. A 1 mana 3/2 with Flash and Death Touch is pretty good, though. I don't even think that's that good. Blacklands Paragon, which I thought was a bad card, and I hit the nail on the head. That card did not make a splash at all. Even Blacklands Paragon is way better than Thieves Guild Enforcer because it's guaranteed Death Touch. It's guaranteed 3 damage on turn 2. This doesn't even have that. This is 0. This is 0, 0, 0, 0. 0 out of 5. Terrible card. Not good. Very bad. Hate it. Hate it. Hate it in Limited. Hate it in Constructed. Get your clippy-doos ready. Pull your clips out. Locate this time frame. And then save it. Oh, yes. Thieves Guild Enforcer sucks. It feels good. That feels good to have found the hill that I will die on. Every review we have a card that everyone's like, this card could be pretty cool. And I'm like, no. And the first one that I did that on was the Grey Merchant of Asphodel. That was the big one that I absolutely 0 out of 5. Was I right? Yes. And that felt good. Second, Blacklands Paragon, absolutely 0 out of 5. Was I right? Yes. Nailed this. Thieves Guild Enforcer, yet again, 0 out of 5. Yes, nailing it. Oh yeah, feels good. I'm thrusting. You can't see it on the camera. You can only see the top motion. There it is. Village Rites, 1 black. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sack a creature, draw 2 cards. This is a nice limited card. Is this a nice constructed card? Huh. I actually think this is a 4 out of 5 in Constructed and a 4 out of 5 in Limited. Imagine my opponent casts a spell that is going to kill one of my creatures. In response, I Village Rites that creature, I draw 2 cards, and my opponent's effect fizzles. This seems like an extraordinarily cheap and efficient way to maintain longevity against a removal-heavy deck. Or whenever we get into a bad spot, we can just sack and then draw 2. Antibody says you can do this in response to the sack ability of Kroxa and Uro. Yeah. Kroxa is the one I'm really thinking about. You can claim the Firstborn and Village rights to sack and draw. Yeah, I think my 4 out of 5 constructed evaluation is correct. I think that's correct. And then in Limited, I think this is a much more simple circumstance, which is like, I have a small baby token Saproling, so I sack and draw. I have a suspicion that we're going to get to green. See a lot of Saproling generation. I like it. 4 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 4 out of 5. I'm using my noggin here, man. I'm using the think noggin. Veto, Thorn of the Dusk Rose, 2 and a black. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. Isn't there a whenever opponent loses life, you gain that much life? Is there an infinite combo here? Sanguine Bond, is it legal? Sanguine Bond. It is from, oh, it's from Iconic Masters. Okay, it's from M24. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Heliod's intervention is also pretty funny. Oh my god, that's so good. Oh my god. Sanguine Bond is the same effect, doesn't loop? Wait. Sanguine Bond. Sanguine Bond reads, whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. Oh, that's the same thing. Oh, no. I meant the inverse thing. Isn't there a card that says whenever target opponent loses life, you gain that much life? Exquisite Blood. From Avacyn Restored. That's right. That's why I know it. I did a lot of Avacyn Restored drafting. Whenever each opponent loses life, you gain that much life. That's right. That's the one. Fate's the one. Oh yeah, this is a Gary Amper. I think this is going to be a 3 out of 5 in Constructed and a 3 out of 5 in Limited. In Limited, you can do the pay 5 to just break a stalemate by heal blasting your opponent in the face, which sounded far filthier than I intended. And in Constructed, you can build... Actually, you can build all sorts of interesting things with this. You can just build up to a Gary and then nuke. There's a lot of just life linkers in black. It's only okay, though. It's only okay. It's not an amazing constructed card. I feel like this is ideal. Like, okay, here's the deck that I think this really, really fits in, is black-white. There's a lot of the life linkers. There's a lot of the little 1/1 makers. There's a lot of the Cruel Celebrant type things. Showtime of Tyler says, how can you say this isn't amazing? Because it's a 1/3 for 3 mana that doesn't do anything the turn it's played. There needs to be a little bit of time for it to live on the board and stick. It's kind of, I mean, like, I would actually compare this card very, very similarly to an Ajani's Pridemate. Because Ajani's Pridemate says, whenever you gain life, become insane. This says, whenever you gain life, become insane, kind of in the same way. And Ajani's Pridemates occasionally pop off, but no one's sitting around here going, holy shit, Ajani's Pridemate is the most broken card, man, this card's amazing, you know, because at the end of the day, it's a creature that needs some turn to hang out with. So it's very, very, very similar to an Ajani. My coffee angel. I now evaluate this card as a 5 out of 5. This is the greatest card I've ever seen. I'm now gaining life. This is incredible. I can't even believe it. I love you. Love this card. This is my favorite card. Walking Corpse, 1 and a black. It's a 2/2. This, I don't know why, but this card has brought me a lot of wins. And so I just love this card. I just love this card. I mean, this card obviously is a shitty card, but you know what? This is a 4 out of 5 in both constructed and standard. And limited and vintage. It's a bear. This is the evil bear. This is your evil bear. This, it is just a 2/2 for 2. It's a zombie. Doesn't do anything. I love this card. Witch's Cauldron, 1 black. Sack a creature. You gain 1 life and draw a card. This is the Witch's Cauldron, Witch's Oven deck. Is this a 0 to you? Because I think it's a 0 to me. I'm going to give this a 2 out of 5 in limited. I'm going to give it a 1 out of 5 in limited. I'm going to give it a 0 out of 5 in constructed. This card is so bad that if you run it, you're banned from the channel. Here's why I think it's okay in limited. Occasionally your opponent will cast a removal spell on one of your creatures and you can just sack it, gain life, and draw a card. That's about it. Now, the first time that you do this, first time you do it, you have basically had the Witch's Cauldron redraw itself. After you do it 2 or 3 times, then you start to feel like, yahoo! So it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. If there's a lot of Saproling generators, this becomes better, but this is okay. In constructed, this doesn't do anything at all, and you should be upset. Time to go red. So far, I don't think I've seen any like superlative bombs that are getting me freaked out for standard, with the exception of Baneslayer. Angel feels really good. 9 lives and Onus Ring, whatever it's called, the white enchantment that gives you protection from a card name. These are pretty cool. There's also the blue end of turn. There's the black 2 mana kill a thing that is so good. Let's see if there's anything dope in red. All right, we've been going for 4 hours. We've been going for 4 hours, 4 hours. So we will probably be going another 4 hours. It's probably going till 9. Fuck. Battle-Right Shaman, 3 and a red. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may have target creature get +2/+0 until end of turn. Oh, that's a really expensive and pretty good effect. This is a limited card, limited 3, constructed 0. Not good, not good, not good. Bolt Hound. Ooh, this is a very good dog. It's 2 and a red. I think Brian Killer spoiled this one. This is a 2/2 haster. Whenever Bolt Hound attacks, other creatures you control get +1/+0 till end of turn. Ooh, it's me. It's a Trumpet Hound. This is not... Is this a constructed playable card? This might actually be quite good. Here's what I think will happen. Oh, this also works with Cavalcade of Calamity. That's a great point, Electress, which is that when you attack with everything, it will proc all the Cavalcade of Calamity triggers, and then Bolt Hound will give everything +1/+0. And yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. Okay, here's what I think will happen. I think that there will be mono-red players and Boros players that will try to run Bolt Hound, decide it sucks, and just go back to Anax. So this will get a 0 out of 5 in Constructed. In Limited, I really like Boros styles, where you kind of like go wide and bash in. We didn't see a huge amount of token generators in White, so I don't know how many there will be, but this seems like a fine card in Limited. I'd give it a 2 out of 5. This is essentially a 2-2 haster, so it will perhaps bonk a bit and then just kind of give up. Bone Pit Brute. 4 and a pair of reds. Menace. When Bone Pit Brute enters the battlefield, target creature gets +4/+0 until end of turn. Ooh, and Bone Pit Brute. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 for Limited, 0 out of 5 Constructed, because it's a creature that doesn't do anything. But in Limited, Menace, I value Menace as a keyword. I really value Menace as a keyword. And you can basically trade up. You can take, say, a 2-3 that hasn't been able to do much, and you can bone pit it. So that way you can do some good bone crushing. Brash Taunter. Oh, look, it's my Twitter feed. You know, a lot of times I tweet things that are just very perfunctory. Hey, I'm going live. Please feel free to tune in. Sometimes I tweet things just like, I love my cats, and things like this. Anytime I tweet an opinion, I'm not even saying controversial opinion, just if it's an opinion, I get 3 of these, minimum. Alright, 4 and a red. An indestructible 1/1. What? Whenever Brash Taunter is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target opponent? What? 2 and a red, Brash Taunter fights another target creature? What? What? Huh. Whoa. Couple things that are interesting about this one. You could say you can block with this and then end of turn fight to just ping for 2. Okay, in Limited, this is a pretty solid card. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 in Limited. Because really what this does is says you have a permanent blocker and you can just start pinging. There's a lot of value in Limited to have some sort of drain effect. Just every turn, ping for damage, ping for damage, ping for damage, ping for damage. Things like this. That's interesting. So, for instance, if your opponent's attacking, you can block, then ping for 1, then you can fight, and then ping for 1. So I think that this is going to be really good at just kind of being a wall in Limited that's just draining life, draining life, draining life, draining life. Oh, I misread. Whenever Brash Taunter is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target opponent. Not whenever Brash Taunter deals damage. Oh, this is a 5 out of 5. This is absolutely incredible. This is incredible because if your opponent has a 6/6, you can force Brash Taunter to fight that creature, and then you will just deal 6 to the opponent. Yeah, I mean, this is just a win condition. This is the sort of thing that you would Grim Tutor for. It's an indestructible smasher. The problem in Constructed with this card is, what if your opponent doesn't have any creatures? What if your opponent doesn't have any creatures? It's also 5 mana, which is quite slow. So if you wanted to activate this in Constructed, you'd either have to have some sort of crazy damage spells that are dealing damage to a creature, which would then cause Brash Taunter to zap something, or you'd have to play a huge creature and then Brash Taunter can like fight that creature and then ping for a little bit more. There's something interesting here. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5 in Constructed because I think that there's merit to this. It's just kind of weird. It's just kind of weird. This is just a bomb in limited. Just a bomb. Great mutate target, says Panda at parties. Oh. Yeah. Cool card. This is maybe the card I'm most excited about in red because I'm kind of a clown. Burn Bright. 2 and a red. Creatures you control get +2/+0 until end of turn. Trumpet Blast. Welcome. This is to avoid people misfiring Trumpet Blast. Trumpet Blast gives attacking creatures +2/+0, which means that if you block and then cast Trumpet Blast, it doesn't do anything. This is creatures you control get +2/+0 until end of turn. This is a fantastic card. This is like the fuck yeah 23rd card. I always give these a 3 out of 5 rating, and I can't stress enough, you want like 1 of these in your draft deck. You don't want like 4 of these in your draft deck. Otherwise, you'll have 2 creatures out and 3 Burn Brights in hand. You won't be able to do anything. This is not a constructed card. 0 out of 5 in constructed. There has been many, many types of cards like this in the past. They never see constructed play. I don't see the reason now. Chandra. Heart of Fire. 3 and a pair of reds. For 5. Discard your hand, then exile the top 3 cards of your library. Until end of turn, you may play cards exiled this way. Holy shit, that effect is so good. Oh my god. Oh my god. That effect is insane. +1. Deal 2 damage to any target. Oh my god. By the way, the reason that the +1 is so strong is if you have no cards in hand. You just play Chandra and then you draw 3. Then the next turn you draw 1, discard it, and draw 3. -9, search your graveyard and library for any number of red, instant, and or sorcery cards. Exile them, then shuffle your library. You may cast them this turn. Add 6 red. Five out of 5 limited, 5 out of 5 constructed. My favorite card I've seen so far. I love this. I love this. A free shock per turn, a 5-mana Planeswalker that goes to 6 loyalty the turn she's played. Lets me draw 3 cards every single turn. Insane. Absolutely insane. Absolutely incredible. This is an incredible card. God. Fuck. Chandra's Incinerator. This spell costs X less to cast. 5 and a red, creature elemental. Costs X less to cast, where X is the total amount of non-combat damage dealt to your opponent this turn. Trample. Whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent, Chandra's Incinerator deals that much damage to target creature or planeswalker that player controls. This art looks a little goofy to me. It's almost a little too cartoonish. For my taste at least. Okay, so let's say it's turn 4, and I somehow spend like this seems hard to cast. How do you cast this? Because I'm imagining if it's like turn 4 and you just like shoot the opponent in the face for 4, now it costs 2, and maybe if you can cast it for 2. Once Chandra's Incinerator is out, a 6/6 Trampler early is like really sick. Cavalcade of Calamity and Scorch Spitter is a good one. This probably works somewhere. I'm not feeling this card though. Hold on, I'm trying to think of how you get this off. The cheap burn that makes sense to me is like if you had like a Cavalcade of Calamity deck that runs 4 Skewer the Critics, 4 Shocks, 4 Chandra's Incinerators, a bunch of 1/1s and Cavalcades. That seems like the way to do it in Scorch Spitters. I think that's the way to get Chandra's Incinerator down on turn 3. I think that's the way to do it. Because, like, turn 1, you play a 1-drop, like a Scorch Spitter. Turn 2, you play the Cavalcade. Then turn 3, you attack with the Scorch Spitter, dealing 1 damage, reducing this to 5. Then you spend 1 of your manas zapping with a Skewer the Critic. So then that's 4 total non-combat damage, and then you can cast Chandra's Incinerator. Yeah, this seems... I would give this like 1 or 2 out of 5 in Constructed. I'd give this 1 or 2 out of 5 in Constructed. I can envision situations in which Chandra's Incinerator would be castable on turn 3. Like, if you do any 1-drop, Cavalcade of Calamity, and then Skewer the Critics on turn 3, then you get Chandra's Incinerator down. I mean, you can do turn 1 any 1-drop and Skewer there, because Cavalcade deals 1, the Skewer deals 4. It deals 3, so it's a total of 4, so it costs 2. Yeah, I don't know. Probably this will show up. A 6/6 Trampler that's cheap is pretty good. And also the fact that this ramps up the board clear for a deck that specifically wants a board clear. I'm going to give it a 2 in Constructed. In what do I think about this in Limited? Probably give it a 4 out of 5 Limited, because this is a 6 mana 6/6 with Trample that has upside, and that seems very good to me in Limited. That seems very good to me. I mean, I really love Colossal Dreadmaw, and this is kind of like a Colossal Dreadmaw. I mean, the fact that you could be hitting their face and then Chandra's Incinerator could be clearing the board, which is what this deck wants. I mean, that's good. That's good. Really good with Risk Factor. It's okay with Risk Factor. It's okay with Risk Factor. Lewis says, how does it clear the board? It says, whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to a player, Chandra's Incinerator deals that much damage to target creature or planeswalker that player controls. So let's say I'm a Cavalcade deck and I have a Shock. A lot of what will let me get through in the end is, you know, just being able to get a few of these blockers out of the way, clear these out of the way before I can do a final swinging blow. So if I swing, deal damage with Cavalcade, ping them in the face with Shock, then it's just like ping, 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 ping. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I'm going to move on because I think 2 out of 5 and then 4 out of 5 in Limited. Chandra's Magmut. 1 in a red. Chandra's Magmut deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker. Nice! Wow! Hell, I'd give this a 4 out of 5 in Limited. I'd give this a 4 out of 5 in Limited. I really value bears that can drain. This is great. I shouldn't say drain. Drain means they lose life, you gain life. But I mean, this is nice. Super, super, super nice. Yeah, love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. You play Chandra's Magmut, they play Teferi, target your Chandra's Magmut. And then you, in response, ping it for 1. Constructed 0. Totally sucks. Totally is bad. Don't like it. Would never even run it, ever. Chandra's Pyreling. 1 in a red. Whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent, Chandra's Pyreling gets +1/+0 and gains double strike until end of turn. Oh. Cavalcade of Calamity. Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, Chandra's Pyreling. Hello, 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 hello. Oh my god, yeah. Yeah. Okay, 3 out of 5 Constructed. I'm upgrading this to 3 out of 5 Constructed. Because there's very clearly some build around focus here. I mean, this is going to be tight. Oh, mono red's going to be fun, man. Oh, yeah. Ah, Chandra's stuff is great. This is... What do I think about this in Limited? I think this is also a 3 out of 5 Limited. I say 3 out of 5 because there's obvious support for prowess, for lots of non-creature spellage going on. I don't know how much is going to be non-combat damage, but there's at least a lot of support to imply that there shall be some spell ping and spell damage there. Double Strike is very good. And at worst, it's a 1/3 for 2, which is nice. Conspicuous Snoop. Oh, this is me when I go by ice cream shops. Double red. It's 2/2 Goblin. It says, play with the top card of your library revealed. You may cast Goblin spells from the top of your library. Ooh. As long as the top card of your library is a Goblin card, Conspicuous Snoop has all activated abilities of that card. Whoa. 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 I don't think there's actually many good goblins with any activated abilities in the set. I mean, the only good goblin is Goblin War Boss, and that's a triggered ability, not an activated ability. So, still kind of cool. Red Goblins is one of those historic, legendary archetypes. So maybe, baby, I'm going to give it a 0 out of 5 in Constructed. We're going to give this a... Three out of 5 in Limited. 3 out of 5 in Limited because of the fact that I've already seen some goblins, and this is just a 2/2 for 2. This is quite nice. There's also a good amount of red discard a card, draw a card effects, and if the top card of the library is revealed, it can help you out a little bit. I mean, just get an extra card in the hand is pretty nice. And the ability to occasionally draw a card for free means it's really nice. Crash through. Creatures you control gain trample until end of turn. Draw a card. We've seen this one before. It's a total snore. This has shown up every once in a while in some really cutesy, combo-y, cycle-y kind of decks. In Limited, it's very whatever. It's just a cycler that occasionally lets you get more damage in. It's okay. Hey, Valiant Thor. Valiant Thor with the 10 giftos. Good to see you. Welcome back, Valiant Thor. Valiant T2486. Being kind to us. I'm going to call this a 1 out of 5 in Constructed. It's such a fringe card. It just kind of stinks anyways. In Limited, Prowess is showing up a good amount, so maybe a red-blue Prowess deck would be looking for cards like Crash Through and like Opt and things like this. Could be a thing. Could be a thing. I'd still give it like a 1 out of 5 in Limited because you need so much support for this to be dope. Destructive Tampering, a sorcery speed, 2 and a red. Destroy target artifact or creatures without flying can't block this turn. Huh. So this is very similar to Trumpet Blast or person's face is really close to the camera. Burn Bright. Board is built. Blast through for the win. Board is built up. Creatures without flying can't block. Throw in for the win. This is kind of like a Cosmotronic Wave. This is again a limited like 23rd card, 2 out of 5. Like not amazing, but like it's the kind of thing that you want like 1 of, maybe 2 of effects. This is not at all a standard card. Not at all. You already have Embereth Shieldbreaker that has 1 red destroy an artifact. So you would, and that gives you a creature afterwards. This is substantially worse than that. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Double Vision, enchantment. When you cast your first instant or sorcery spell each turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. I'm going to play this card quite a bit. 3 and a pair of reds, huh? This is constructed rating jank out of 5. This is a limited 0 out of 5. You generally are not looking to double up instants and sorceries because you have so many instants and sorceries that now you're going to be able to get value out of this. If you cast this, the first time you cast an instant or sorcery and duplicate it, you have just made up for this card cost. And then you have to play another one. And sometimes you don't even want the duplicated spell in Limited because the situations are a little bit more variable. But in Constructed, you can just do some jank stuff, man. Oh, yeah. You can do something like Iron Crag Feat. Get like 14 mana. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Fiery Emancipation. Oh, look at how many mana symbols are on here. 3 triple red. Enchantment. If a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player. It's not a red source, it's just a source. It deals triple that damage to the permanent or player instead. Oh, holy shit. Oh. Yeah. I want to be clear. This gets the James Bond treatment. This is a 00 card. 0 out of 5. In constructed and limited. Are we going to try to make a deck that runs 4 of these? Maybe, yeah. Now, I want to make sure this is clear. If a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals triple that damage to permanent or player instead. Does it 9x? Does it 9x? I don't think it does. Does it? I can't remember the explanation for how it stacks. What is the explanation? I know how it works. Here's how it works. So if we have 2 of these, what happens is, let's say I shock for 2 damage. Goes on the stack, the first one. If a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, or it doesn't go on the stack, it's a replacement effect, but there's 2 independent replacement effects. So the first replacement effect occurs, and that 2 damage gets tripled to 6, and that first enchantment's responsibility is done, it's away, but the second replacement effect comes in and sees 6 damage. So it replaces that 6 damage with 18 damage. Nice. Because, how does it work with Torbrand's base +2 × 3? I don't know, fuck it. I'm gonna run this. This is awesome. Bang! Okay, Furious Rise. Oh, again? Oh, I am absolutely gonna try to make this work in limited and be a little bit disappointed. God, this has done stuff in limited. It has been like a 1 or a 2 out of 5 in limited. It's not a constructed playable card. This was in the last set. Furious Rise, 2 in a red. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card until you exile another card with Furious Rise. Yeah, I don't know. Get at it. I don't like this card, man. I've gone all in on that card and been burned. Furor of the Bitten. A single red enchant creature. It gets +2/+2 and attacks each combat if able. Huh. What do we think about this one, huh? Here's the thing. There are red-white aggro decks that are basically dump the entire hand out and smash in as much as possible. And historically, we would say, oh, enchantments is just how you throw cards away in 2-for-1 circumstances. But +2/+2 permanently, that's a lot of damage. And you can get around the downside of getting 2-for-1 due to the upside of such an enormous tempo gain. So I think that Fury of the Bitten, depending upon how low to the ground your Boros deck is, I actually think it has some real legs. So I'm going to give Fury of the Bitten a 1 out of 5 in limited for that reason. Yeah, after all that excitement, 1 out of 5, 0 out of 5 in constructed. Get the full out of here, get out. It's a stinker. Don't like it. Gadrak, the Crown Scourge. 2 in a red, a legendary creature dragon. It's a 5/4 flyer. What? Gadrak, the Crown Scourge. Can't attack unless you control 4 or more artifacts. At the beginning of your end step, create a treasure token for each non-token creature that died this turn. What? Here's the thing. If we're blowing up a lot of our opponent's creatures, we can get a bunch of treasure tokens, and treasure tokens are pretty cool, you know? It's like a lot of roundaboutiness. It's kind of like a 5/4 flying blocker for 3 that occasionally turns into an attacker. Also, we can, like, sacrifice a bunch of stuff and, like, you know, put a bunch... But then they can also just kill it. This card's horrible. This card is just horrible. 0 out of 5 in constructed. I'd even give it a 1 out of 5 in limited. 1 out of 5 in limited, man. 1 out of 5 in limited. Maybe I should give it a 2 out of 5 because it has 4 toughness and it can block. Maybe that's what I would do. I don't think we're going to get to attack with it that much. I'm going to amend my 1 out of 5 in limited to a 2 out of 5 in limited. The setup is just a pain in the ass. God, I would not want to run this in any constructed deck, no matter what. Ugh. I mean, dude, the Rakdos Sacrifice decks, which I feel like are the most intuitive ones that would want to run a Gadrak, those are already such efficient, tight lists. They're so tight. What do you cut to run Gadrak? Aflac, the Crown Scourge. I don't know, man. We get some mana, but, like, you know, I don't know. I mean, like, and what's the upside? Okay, imagine Rakdos Sacrifice that does not need that much mana, and this generates mana. Like, what? I don't know. No. 0 out of 5 constructed, 2 out of 5. There you go. Goblin Arsonist. When Goblin Arsonist dies, you may have it deal 1 damage to any target. Huh. That's a very solid red card. I'd give that a 3 out of 5 in constructed. This is a very solid red card, right? A 1/1 that pings for 1. Yeah, great. Super great. Yeah. Super great. Super duper duper great. Super great. Super great. Who do we appreciate? Goblins. Looks like Goblins are making a little bit of a comeback. In limited, maybe 1 out of 5. I really don't like 1-drops in limited. I hate 1-drops. I hate 1-drops. Yuck. Yuck. Yeah, Footlight Fiend, I liked. Goblin Arsonist, I like. Person of Bloss says, if this is so great, why does Footlight Fiend not see play? It's seen play pretty recently. Not, like, in the last 3 months or so. But this is the kind of effect that's just great. Maybe in the next 3 months you won't see a lot of Goblin Arsonist, but this is absolutely the sort of thing that I would expect to show up in a mono-red deck. Yeah, cool. Goblin Wizardry. 3 in a red. Create 2 1/1 red Goblin Wizard creature tokens with prowess. Oh, shit. I like this in limited. I like this, and I would put this as a 3 in limited. We end of turn Wizardry and surprise bash in with a bunch of prowess? Yes, please. Oh my god. Need a little Frost Breath? Tap some things down? Oh, yeah. Constructed? No. Nope. But I like this card a lot. This is nice. Havoc Jester. 4 in a red. Whenever you sacrifice a permanent, Havoc Jester deals 1 damage to any target. We don't need more Mayhem Devils. So this is a worse Mayhem Devil. It costs 2 mana more. It's thick, but it seems bad. I'd give it a 0 out of 5 in constructed. It's just so expensive. So expensive. 0 out of 5. Limited, 3 out of 5. It's a 5/5 for 5 in limited, and that's good. 5/5 for 5 in limited is good. You'll occasionally get to ping for damage in limited, but no. Heartfire Immolator. 1 and a red for 2/2 prowess. Sack Heartfire Immolator. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker. This is a nice card. Another 3 out of 5. Dude, red prowess seems juicy. This is a solid, excuse me, little card. Super, super solid little card. Wow. That's quite nice. That's quite nice. You can smash in and then use it to clear the way for bigger things. Yeah. Yeah. Love this one. Not constructed playable. 3 out of 5 in limited. This is nice. Hellkite Punisher. Look how big that is. A 6/6 flyer for 7 with fire breathing. Oh, yeah. This is a 5 out of 5 in limited. Oh my god, yeah. Fire breathing dragons that fly. Yeah. You just do any amount of damage. A little bit of time passes. Pow. Drop your Hellkite Punisher and flapping for a billion damage. Yeah. Love it. 5 out of 5. Zero out of 5 in constructed, because who wants to hard cast a 6/6 flyer that doesn't do anything the turn it's played? I sure don't. I sure don't. Hobble Fiend. 1 and a red for a creature devil that's a 2/1. It has trample. Oh. Sack another creature, put a +1/+1 counter on Hobble Fiend. This seems really bland as a card. You're not going to run this in constructed at all. It's kind of, it's like a bad Witch's Oven. I mean, it's just so mediocre. And then in limited, it's like a 2/1 for 2. I mean, why would I want to sack a creature to just make it a 3/2 with trample? I mean, this is... Yeah, Racket 19, you capture my thoughts precisely. It's like the Blood Aspirant, but worse somehow. Yeah. I don't like it. I give it 1 out of 5 just for not being a 2/2 for 2. 1 out of 5 in limited, 0 out of 5 constructed. Igneous Cur. 1 and a red for a 1/2. Igneous Cur gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Ah, this is a solid little limited card. 2 out of 5. It's like a little bit better than a... Or I should say it's a little bit better late than a 2/2 for 2. That's not amazing. 0 out of 5 in constructed. Like, this is bad fire breathing. Why do you want it? Also, I will note there's a lot of effects that historically have been like pay 3 mana to give it +1/+1, or even pay 2 mana to give it +1/+0. This is pay 2 mana, get +2/+0. Pretty nice. Like, if you just have the Igneous Cur down and you remove some threats, say because you're a prowess deck and the prowess instants and sorceries are removal spells, you can have an Igneous Cur remove some things and bash in for like 5 damage. And then if they don't play anything, you just bash in for like 7 damage. It's nice. Kinetic Augur. Oh my god. The art is almost a little too realistic. So I'm having that like uncanny valley feeling on the Kinetic Augur, man. 3 and a red for a human shaman that is star 4. Trample. Kinetic Augur's power is equal to the number of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard. Ah. When Kinetic Augur enters a battlefield, discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards. Ah. Huh. Huh. Seems above average and limited. It seems above average and limited. Lets you get rid of, say, your land and replace. 3/4 or a 4/4 for 4 with trample seems fine. Seems good. Give it 3 out of 5. What do we think about this in constructed? This seems like a very obviously worse Rael, because Rael is 3. And someone might say, well, why don't you run Raels and Kinetic Augurs and Phoenixes and etc., etc., etc. I start to worry that you might run out of instants and sorcery. You might be low on instants and sorceries in the main. And plus 4 mana is a hell of a lot of mana for those Is It Phoenix decks. So I'd probably give it a 1 out of 5 in constructed, because maybe you run like 2 of these and Is It Phoenix, or maybe tune a little bit. Maybe I'm totally wrong. But I don't know. Intuitively, I go no. Intuitively, I say no, 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 no. No, 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 no. All right. Onaki Ogre. Oh my god. Remember the Onake Ogre? Welcome back. Welcome back. 2 and a red. Good to see you. I'll give you a 4 out of 5 in both formats, my friend. Even though no one's happy to run you, I'm happy to see you. Pitch Burn Devils. 4 and a red for the Devil. When it dies, it deals 3 damage to any target. Ooh! Ooh! Oh, yeah. This is a limited 4 out of 5. Love to see it. Love to see it. Oh my god, yes. A 3/3 for 5 is a little undercosted. Death and deal 3 is nice. That feels really nice. I'm not going to give it a 5 out of 5 because you have a lot of conditions on the ability to cast that 3 damage. Both the costs of casting this initially and then the follow-up of it dying. But this is, if you're trying to just bash someone, try to deal some extra damage, Pitchburn Devils is both a creature that can threaten and then reach. So this feels very, very nice. 4 out of 5. Not a constructed playable card, though. Sanctum of Shattered Heights. Pay 1, discard a land or shrine card. Sanctum of Shattered Heights deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker, where X is the number of shrines you control. These shrines are awful. Oh my god. Maybe I'm just going to go red-black shrines or something like this? Ugh. God. These shrines are so much effort to make work. Maybe we need to go like Grixis shrines, right? We have the shrine that drains life. We have this shrine to discard the duplicate shrines because they're legendaries, which lets us ping things. Then we have the card draw shrine to maybe get there. No, I think maybe what we're going to have to do with our shrines is go Grixis shrines with nothing else but shrines. Then it's shrine time, baby. I don't know. I don't know, man. This is like a 3 in limited if you draft a triple shrine deck. But I really think it's more often a 0 in both formats. Why are they legendary? Probably because they're busted if they're not legendary, man. Scorching Dragonfire. No one will ever play this card. It's slow. The damage is mediocre. Who would ever dream of it? 0 out of 5 in all formats. This is a 5 out of 5 card everywhere. This is an amazing card. Shock. Yep, it's good. It's good. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. 5 out of 5 across the board. Soul Seer. Soul Seer deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker. That permanent loses indestructible until end of turn. Oh. Huh. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. Huh. There's a lot of big 5 toughness things. I'm mainly thinking about Baneslayer Angel. Baneslayer Angel is pretty nice. Kill my poor Gideons. It doesn't hit any of the gods unless they have become a creature already. So you have to be very careful with trying to run it and target the god. And a lot of the gods are getting their benefit, like Klothys is almost never able to be turned into a creature. But I think the bigger thing is 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker. I mean, being able to just pick off planeswalkers with 1 card is really, really nice. Really, really, really nice. I like this card a lot. This is going to be a sideboard special, 3 out of 5. This is astounding in limited, 5 out of 5. Astounding, astounding, astoundingly good. This is a nice one. I love this one. It's kind of makes me feel like a little sexier Lava Coil, you know? Spell Gorger Weird. 2 and a red. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Spell Gorger Weird. Whoa. Limited 4 out of 5. I'm going to give this a good rating because we have seen prowess in a bunch of cards. 2/2 for 3 is a little undercosted, but then it starts building up rapidly. I mean, it's been good in the past. I think it'll be good now. Constructed, 0 out of 5. Constructed, 0 out of 5. Constructed, 0 out of 5. Subira Tulzidi Karavanar. 2 in a red. Legendary creature, human shaman. It's a haster that's a 2/3. 1. Another target creature with power 2 or less. Can't be blocked this turn. Cool. 1 in a red, discard your hand. Or 1 in a red, tap, discard your hand. Until end of turn, whenever a creature you control with power 2 or less deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Huh. Who's that? Hi, Sheriff. Guys, we got Sheriff the Cat here. We have our guest, Sheriff the Cat. This feels pretty good in Limited. Feels pretty good. I'd give it a 4 out of 5 in Limited, both as a 3-mana haster and as a very cheap way to guarantee that we can bash in. Maybe I would actually give this a 5 out of 5 in Limited. The fact that I can just make a bunch of my creatures unblockable and just keep smashing in, I mean, that's incredible. That's like really incredible. In Constructed, I don't actually think I like this that much. Oh my god. It's Addy Addy Ain't Got No Daddy, gifting 25 subs for a total of 36. Welcome back, Addy Addy Ain't Got No Daddy. That name always makes me chuckle. Yeah, no, in Constructed, I actually don't even like this. I don't even like this. What do you think, Addy Addy Ain't Got No Daddy? I don't know if you've been watching us for very long. Yeah, I don't see this is good. I don't see this is good in Constructed. I don't see this is that good in Constructed. Like, pay 2, discard the hand, deal damage, draw more cards. I mean, come on. I would rather just, like, cast Light Up the Stage. You know? I'd rather cast Light Up the Stage. Yeah, maybe this is a commander. Maybe this is a commander card. I don't know. I'd give this a 1 out of 5 in Constructed, but more likely a 0. More likely a 0 out of 5 in Constructed. I just don't like this in Constructed. But I think I should give it a 5 out of 5 in Limited. I think I should give it a 5 out of 5 in Limited because of the ability to just smash in and win. Sure Strike, dude, I love this combat trick. I mean, most combat tricks for me are sort of in the 2 to 3 range, but I give this a 4 because it is just so satisfying. It is so satisfying, and it's also a great burn card. Not burn card, but it's a great damage card into the face. This is maybe my favorite combat trick I've played with in ages. It's like good defensively, good offensively, good when there's no creatures on the board. It's just great all over the place. Oh, I think I'm going to like this. Terror of the Peaks. 3 and a pair of reds for a dragon with flying. A 5/4 dragon with flying. Nice. Spells your opponents cast that target Terror of the Peaks cost an additional 3 life to cast. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. Whoa! Okay, obviously a 5 out of 5 in Limited. Obviously. We have a flying big dude that's hard to cast stuff on, that can just shoot the face, kill creatures, all this other stuff. Is this good in Constructed, though? here's where I'm going with this. Would this work in a sort of aggro deck? Do you want Terror of the Peaks at the high end of an aggro deck? I mean, Thundermaw Hellkite is a sort of historically dope flyer, 4/4 flying haster. Maybe this is actually... If I'm being like mono red aggro, I want everything 3 or less, right? I want cheap stuff. Maybe there's a more mid-range red deck. If there were a mid-range red, this would fit extremely nicely into that. So it seems a little too slow for aggro. Maybe if there's a mid-rangey deck. But a big thing I'm struggling with is that if I am a mid-rangey deck, a lot of the Gruul mid-rangey decks are just smashing on the ground with Ember Cleavers. You know, the... what's the existing Hellkite called? There's the Riot Hellkite. I don't remember what it is. That's right, Skargan Hellkite. Skargan Hellkite is a 3 and double red for a 4/4 Riot. So it can be a 4/4 with haste, or it can be a 5/5 and ping things with damage. So it feels like maybe it doesn't fit into a lot of the Gruul aggro decks. But it might actually work in some sort of monsters deck, a sort of ramp monsters deck. That could be quite cool. I just really struggle to see the deck that I kind of want to run this in is I want to like maybe move my Kroxa Rakdos deck up a teensy bit. Is there a big red deck? Yeah, maybe big red with flyers could be super cool. Maybe big red with flyers. I don't know. This is a deck that interests me. So I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5 in Constructed. Intuitively, this doesn't feel particularly amazing to me because it feels like if this lands on the board and then really sticks, cool things happen. There's a lot of red creatures that fall under that category where they just don't really show up. Like Drakoseth is like a really fringe card that you look at it and you're like, that's amazing! But it needs to be played and then like live a turn and all this. This is notably cheaper than Drakoseth. Notably cheaper than that. So maybe. This will end the game stupidly fast. So yeah, maybe I'd give it a 2 or 3 out of 5 in 2 out of 5 in Constructed. I'm going to stick with my gut on this. It feels hard for it to live long enough for me to become a fist pumper. So, I'm going to call this 2 out of 5 in Constructed. Bong. Thrill of Possibility. We all know this card. It's fine and limited. It can be super gaseous in the right Constructed deck. This is a real engine for the Is It Phoenix kinds of decks, you know, where you want to be discarding your Phoenixes into the graveyard and so on and so on and so on. Yeah, this is kind of neat. Traitorous Greed. Until end of turn, target creature or gain control, untap, it gains haste, add 2 mana of any one color. Oh, that's interesting. Again, this falls into the category of your Trumpet Blast Cosmotronic Wave. All creatures can't block, buff everything. Traitorous Greed is just another gain control of the big blocker and swing in for the win. And the +2 mana of any color, again, pretty cool for prowess. Very clearly a limited card, but it's your 2 out of 5 limited card. It is your 0 out of 5 Constructed card, as Act of Treason and Claim the Firstborn are already dominant in Standard. I have to use the restroom, so we're going to be speeding these things up until we get to the end of red. Transmogrify, 3 in a red. Exile target creature. That creature's controller reveals cards from the top of their library till they reveal a creature card. That player puts that card onto the battlefield, then shuffles the rest into their library. Okay, Luca. All right, Luca. Okay, end of turn 3, Transmogrify. It lands. I then exile everything until we reveal any creature. We should put Godzilla in there. We just make a token, get out Godzilla. That's the way we do it. How many more of these do we have? Because I actually have to go to the restroom insanely badly. Okay. 0 out of 5 limited. Maybe 1 out of 5 constructed. No one plays Luca anymore because there's no Agent of Treachery. Turn to Slag, 3 double red, deals 5 damage to target creature. Destroy all equipment attached to that creature. 5 out of 5 in limited because it's a strong removal. 5 is a lot. 0 out of 5 in terms of constructed because there's 1,000,001 alternatives, such as the instant speed 3 mana that deals 5 damage. Bam. Turret Ogre, 3 in a red. Reach, welcome back. When Turret Ogre enters the battlefield, if you control another creature with power 4 or greater, Turret Ogre deals 2 damage to each opponent. Oh, interesting. This is a limited card, very clearly 3 out of 5. Constructed? You don't really think defensively in limited by throwing down some 4/3 reachers. You know what I mean? 3 out of 5 limited, 0 out of 5 constructed. Unleash Fury, double the power of target creature until end of turn. Okay, this is the best art we've seen yet because we have a guy using very awkward punching form to just nail a bull. Oh yeah. This is never going to see play in constructed ever. Not in a million years. Like, you can, for the same mana cost, you can play an Embercleave. So let's go ahead and keep doing that. For the sake of limited, I'd give this like a 1 out of 5 because this is a combat trick that doesn't necessarily let you trade. Like Sure Strike gives you +3/+0 and First Strike. So it means my creature lives, your creature dies. Unleash Fury is rarely ever valuable in a my creature lives or in a trade situation. This is something you cast when there's nobody blocking and you sort of surprise blow somebody out. I don't like this very much in either constructed or limited. Volcanic Geyser. X and 2 red. Volcanic Geyser deals X damage to any target. Oh my god. 5 out of 5 in constructed because I love cards that have X in the cost. I love cards with X in the cost. I love cards with X in the cost. I love cards with X in the cost. So I think more realistically, this is a pretty bad card in constructed because, I mean, just think about this. If you pay 4 mana, you can deal 2 damage. Shock accomplishes that for 1 mana. But you know I like ramp. You know I like ramp. So if I can get out a bunch of lands and use 1 card to deal 10 damage to something, I'm going to want to do that. So I'm going to give this a 0 out of 5 in constructed, but you're going to see your friend Sean running this often. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5 in limited because it is actually really clunky. Similarly, you could just spend 4 mana to deal just 2 damage. It is removal, but it's like... The one thing that gives it a lot of hype for me is the fact that it's any target, so I can bang someone in the dome. Volcanic Salvo, 10 and 2 red. This might be my favorite card. Sorcery, the spell costs X less to cast, where X is the total power of creatures you control. Ooh. Volcanic Salvo deals 6 damage to each of up to 2 target creatures and/or planeswalkers. Oh, this is really good and limited. This is just a classic 2-for-1. This is a classic 2-for-1. Constructed, this totally sucks. What do I want a 12 mana sorcery and constructed for? What are you, nuts? What are you, nuts? A 12 mana sorcery? Just to deal 6 damage? Just to 2 things? No. Nope, not in a million years in constructed. This is a 0 out of 5 in constructed, 5 out of 5 in limited. I now get to use the restroom. And with this, I will now take a little bit longer of a break so I can chow down on some food. But when we return, we will continue to give the most accurate evaluations possible for green artifacts and the multicolored cards. And then we'll be done.